Hello and welcome back to Become a God. This week I'm going to be taking a look at a few different decks that have featured in tournaments over the last week. I've already hit God rank, by the way, guys. I played on stream for a few hours during the week and I managed to get rank 1. And while I was eating my breakfast the other day, I managed to get a win streak all the way to God rank. So I have hit God rank, and I did it with the red-yellow mid-range deck that I featured in a previous episode. So that deck pretty much did most of my climb for this season at red yellow mid range, so I'm pretty happy with how that deck has turned out. But for today I wanted to try something different, and we're going to take a look at a blue control deck. Now this is based on ZaldinFox's blue control that got him second place in the Hex Templar tournament. So I've made some changes. I added a bit more meat to it, adding Gathering Archons over the Lore Thief, and I dropped a Sunken Tower for an Aurora's Creation because I just love using Mirror Phantasm in this deck. It's a lot of fun. So without further ado, let's get into the matches and see how this deck performs. Alright guys, into our first match. Going against Cephalo. Now, I have played against this player before. Actually, I played against this player today. And it was some kind of Yakapult tricolor deck that uses Divine Guardian. And the opener that I went up against in my previous match was, it just did involve a Divine Guardian on turn 1. Forest to the left-hand side, Divine Guardian, and it uses like Blazing Salamander, Frog Tosser, and stuff like that. So we'll see how this deck manages. Aurora's Trick is going to be quite handy, actually, and this card is showing up a lot. And it's no surprise, really, considering that Grimguard is so popular. Has a lot of good targets, so I'm pretty happy to see Aurora's Trick get featured in more competitive decks these days, simply because it's a pretty fantastic card if you can get towards its land requirement. So as you can see here, Mountains, Cheeky Willow, the usual. So what are we going to do here? What's the plan? I'm thinking about Mirror Phantasm. So just lake up here, jump, MP, and then just hit it for 5. Puts this down to 2. It does mean that both of these creatures will kill this water elemental that is transformed into a Mirror Phantasm with its current power level. But do I really mind? I mean, I do get to keep one Phantasm at least, and I get to clear out the left-hand side. So that seems pretty good to me. Alternatively, I could just wait. I could just wait and trick this. But I might want to trick Yakapult, because I do know there is Yakapult in this deck, so I think I will save my trick for Yakapult, and we'll go for the Mirror Phantasm play. So it's just a little more aggressive, and I'm going to play the first Mirror Phantasm in this spot here. I'll take the hit. And this is because if this guy gets cleared out, I still have that pressure to apply with this Mirror Phantasm. So I am a control deck, my opponent's a control deck, but my opponent benefits from sitting back and building lands towards that Yakapult win condition, whereas my win condition kind of varies depending on what matchup I'm in. So we might just see Blazing Salamander come down. Yeah, we might see just a Blazing Salamander come down and then the Willow just finish off the Phantasm. This pushes this creature up to a 5/5, but then again, like I said, I do have the Phantasm to challenge this now, which was my plan originally, and I don't think I mind Frogifying this card. Because like I said, I want to save this trick for the Yakapult. Oh, going for a power-up, interesting. So this deck does run free Emperor's Command. So Emperor's Command is like a fantastic top deck right now. Oh, another Frogify. That's pretty tasty. All right, let's take a draw. Aurora's Creation. I really want to play Battletoads, but I don't really want to play a Battletoad into this Salamander. I guess I don't mind so much. I guess I could play the Battletoads because then I can double neutral here and start collecting off the left-hand side. Seems so bad though. I think I'll just wait for now. Let's just relax and chill out and see what my opponent gets up to. We're both collecting off one well, so it's okay. Goes for the lake and goes for the pass. Okay. We'll take a draw. This is what we wanted to see, guys. Emperor's Command. Clean this guy up. Nice and easy. It goes, and then we'll go for the Battletoads in this position, and then we can utilize the jump ability on the follow-up turn if this doesn't get removed, and we could use the Aurora's Creation to copy our Phantasm, and then we can clear out, say, the 2/5 if we want to get value, or we could even just kill the 5/5. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what the positioning's like. I'm gonna move here actually. Frog Tosser, okay. Into Yakapult. As expected. So this, we completely expected this to happen. It's absolutely fine. We're gonna steal this with Aurora's Trick. I think we might move this here. I won't have enough to play Creation and Aurora's Trick this turn, which is fine. Let's just clear this out. I do need to make another lake, so I need to be aware of that. I need to make a lake in order to move forward here. Maybe I actually Frogified this so it can't kill the Yakapult easily. So yeah, I clear this guy out. I'll go for the lake here so I can move my frog across next turn. I'll Frogify this. And then I'll Aurora's Trick this. So now we have the Yakapult. We're going to force our opponent to kill it. So use resources to finish it off. We Frogified the 5/5. We picked up an extra Frogify of Spell Wheel. It's pretty good. So we have 4 Frogifies in our deck thanks to that Spell Wheel. And like I said, just making life a bit difficult for my opponent here. The Yakapult does want to get cleared. It's going to need a little bit extra. Or it's just going to require running maybe this and this into it. I may use a power-up to finish it off, which is fine. Like I said, I don't really mind. I just don't want the Yakapult to be anywhere. I'm a bit concerned about the Yakapult. All right, we're looking in a much better position now. We can take a lake here, collect off this well. I think I might shimmy back just to move out of reach of this card and then pass. So we're going into the next turn with the plan of playing Aurora's Creation on this. Double neutral up, jump. We can then play the Phantasm, clean this out, leaving our frog, well, our Phantasm on 1 life. But that also enables our Archons, which is going to be really good. Might just play it as a 5/5. Yeah, I'm happy to actually just trade my frog off with the Phantasm there. Because then we can set up an Archon here. Oh yeah, I can kill the Sagami Warrior as well. So yeah, double neutral, try collect, Creation, clear Archon. Jump. Here, Creation. Stick this side. Clear this. Clear this. Play an Archon. Now we're in a pretty good spot, I think. We've got potential tri-collection. This should be okay. This shouldn't die. We might see a Salamander play come down now. the clear this, which would be a little sad, but I don't know. I think it's fine. Well, we'll see what happens. We're going to see a salamander here instead of using the land. Guess I power up the frog there. Okay. I'm going to move this into double collection. And, oh, can set up a battle toad as well, so that works out for us pretty nicely, actually. Because now I could say double neutral here. And pass. The problem is, I feel like my opponent has a better late game than me. Lots of removal with the salamanders and the frog tossers and stuff like that, which is a little frustrating. And it looks like a Yakapult's going to come down. I'm going to see all these creatures kind of move out of the way. It's going to double neutral in that position there. I'm hoping to just pick up another trick at this point. Okay. I think we actually frogify this. Yeah, I think we frogify this. Spell Will. Okay, we could find something spicy off this. A lot of water elementals. I don't need any more lakes, that's for sure. This is where the Sunken Tower can come quite handy in ZaldinFox's build, because I can move creatures around to finish them off. Alright, we'll take a draw. Archon. Okay. So we'll collect. Just move this back and we'll frogify. We'll just wait, we'll just see what happens. Archons are kind of... So the win condition for this build are Archons and whatever you pull from Spell Will. Along with potentially Beirut, depending on the matchup. Now I really want Aurora's Trick. Man, this is a matchup where I want 3 Aurora's Trick, and I want to pull Aurora's Tricks off my Spell Wills. There's just so many good targets in this matchup. It's gonna just... Yeah, it's gonna make that a 7-13. That's pretty nice. But we have the Frogify sitting in the wings, ready to finish that off. It's just this card as well, which is a bit of a concern for me. We can just Frogify this and then clear this guy out, and yeah, we'll just leave the frog there. So I'll go for Fagoro. Get myself an in. Okay. Crystal Flower. Now this deck runs 3 Crystal Flowers, so I may not even need to Frogify right now. I could use a Crystal Flower, but I think I'm fine with using Frogify here on the big target, so we can use the Crystal Flowers later on to just control the board and put smaller threats in there, because they are going to get out eventually, and especially with all these jumpers around. So yeah, let's just go for the Frogify. I could actually +1 I could +1 Failed Experiment here as well. So if I wanted to keep a Battletoad alive, I could do that. But I'm not going to bother this turn. I don't think I need to. Yeah, okay. Let's finish this off, and we'll move this into a safer position. +1, and we'll pass. So we'll take some Faeria. I want to make sure we have enough Faeria going into the next few turns. We have a massive hand of cards. We don't need to draw anything else. So yeah, let's just keep gathering Faeria and use this hand advantage in our favor. And hopefully there's not another Gift of Krakoa. If there's not another Gift of Krakoa, we should be okay. Hits my face, goes for the Frog Tosser. It's a little grim. The Frog Tossers there. The Frog Tossers are really good. But it's nothing Battletoads can't deal with unless there's other frog tossers. So, yeah, I feel like we're in an okay position here. Maybe just Battletoads and then pass. It's looking a bit hairy. The frog tossers are really powerful against blue, especially if you're running like lots of Battletoads, water elementals. Like the Archons and the Phantasms are the main creatures that can kind of dodge that. Another Gift of Krakoa feels bad. And it's just gonna punch me for 10. Set up that guy for 4 damage. That's fair enough. So we can just Crystal Flower this. +1. So that's all the Gift of Krakoa is gone at least. There's 1 Yakapult remaining. 1 Frog Tosser, 1 Salamander, I want to say. We might see a Sky Whale. Sky Whale is pretty powerful. There's probably another Shifting Octopus as well. This is pretty smart, using the taunt there to just stop my Phantasm. Like, into an Enchantress. Very strange. So we can Crystal Flower this now. Just keep Crystal Flowering over and over again. So we are dead to another Enchantress, unfortunately. I think we stick this here. So, yeah, we lose to another Enchantress. If an Enchantress enchants the Enchantress, it's going to be 5 damage, and that's going to be lethal. There's 10 cards left in deck. Fairly optimistic. This is a 7-3, so 10-7. We can Phantasm this. We can actually Failed Experiment Phantasm this to clear it out. Oh, that's just going to be lethal. And there we have it. So game number 1, very interesting. Blue Control is kind of strange because it doesn't have the explosive removal of the multicolored decks. It doesn't have like a massive win condition. It kind of just relies on, from what my experience with it so far, it kind of just relies on taking good clears with Phantasms. That's why I added the Creation into the deck, because Phantasm felt like it was a really important card in blue winning its matchups. But I kind of felt this one would be pretty difficult going into it, just because I'd played against the deck earlier and I had an idea of what it was doing. I didn't actually see the Enchantress in the previous game, so it's a shame that I didn't predict that. I maybe could have made some different decisions along the way, but it kind of felt like an uphill battle right from the first Blazing Salamander, really. Oh, sorry, Emerald Salamander. They're both Salamanders to me. But yeah, that is the first game. Unfortunately, a loss. But let's get into another one, and hopefully we'll do a little bit better. Alright guys, game number 2. Hopefully things will go a little bit better for us in this game. I feel that was quite an enjoyable match in the last game, but it was a little unfortunate. Like I said, I just felt like the Tricolor deck had a better win condition, and we're going up against Rush. Now, this could be a win streak. We could be the gatekeeper to a player's god rank here. We have a decent hand if we go up against Yellow Rush, I think, because we have a way to clear out an early monk, but it's probably going to be Red Rush by the looks of things. And we're well away from this. I mean, command onto this, it's pretty fantastic actually, but not really an option we have. So let's go for the Battletoads here. I think my biggest question before I pass this turn is, do I use the Emperor's command just to make it a bit more difficult to clear this frog? And I think the answer is yes, because my opponent doesn't have any mountains yet. So Gift of Steel is not going to be a problem. Biggest problem is going to be Campfire, actually. And we can go into the Aurora on the follow-up, clear this out, and keep a very healthy frog in the meantime. Now I'm going to block this off because we can't collect Faeria anyway, so it makes no difference to me. Move this across here. Go for the Aurora. Clear this out. I'm going to jump on this mountain. So forcing my opponent to make a mountain here or here. Forcing them to do something very specific with this land placement. I'm going to see Flameburst Cypher's Wrath come down. It's a pretty nice answer overall. But yeah, I think that's fine. Another trick. Oh my goodness. The Grimguards are going to be absolutely beautiful for us going forward. I think I'm going to take a lake here, actually. Let's get this Archon down. So our hand is pretty good in terms of cost. We can basically play any card in my hand for +1 Faeria without having to collect. But I'm going to actually get some collections off next turn, which is fine. This is a little sad because I don't have the Emperor's Command now, so I can't steal this. I do pick up another Archon, so I think we just clear this out. Let's take double neutral here. Actually, I don't want double neutral pushing down here for my opponent to try and get this mountain spot. Yeah, we'll just clean this up. Yep, we'll go for the Archon. Like I said, our hand's pretty good now for Faeria. We haven't got expensive cards in hand. I'm just waiting for that Grimguard or waiting for that Brigand. Ground Shaker, pretty brutal here. Not a lot I could do about that, unfortunately. This is probably going to get face hit in. Just wondering if I draw. Probably not. I probably just go for the Battletoads. Yep, just pass. So I set up a lake here because if this mount, I can kind of just be a little bit cheeky and double collect with this if this doesn't get removed. That's the plan, at least. Looks like the Ground Shaker is considering going for a board control line instead. I've blocked collection here by having 2 creatures down. So I'm making it a bit more awkward for my opponent to, you know, gain resources as things go along. It's going to be a +1 into a Grimguard. Hello, hello, Mr. Grimguard. I have been waiting for you. Say hello to my little friend, Aurora's Trick. Oh, sad times. And we get to double collect, like I said, and we get to clear the Ground Shaker as well, leaving a pretty good card in this position. And then we can take the Water Elemental on the right side, fill up this last land spot, and then we have quad collection. Oh, Grimguard, how's it going, buddy? See, we can't leave these two need to become friends. It's their destiny to become friends. Yep, we're going to go for the +1, go for the Water Elemental, fill in the last slot here, and another Aurora's Trick. Covering both mountains now. And there we have it, double Aurora's Trick beating Red Rush. This is why I love this card. It's so good in this metagame right now. Grimguard, very popular, and having both of them, just waiting for them to come down, and he played them, and we got them. So, good game there. Aurora's Trick single-handedly winning the match for me. Let's get into another one. Alright guys, into our next match. I don't think I've ever seen this before. Yeah, I guess we can throw one of them. I don't mind keeping 2, it just helps our land acceleration. Let's just throw 1 away. Empress Command, that's not too bad. We're going to get Tsunkichi. So this is going to be a pretty tough game. Tsunkichi, a very, very talented player. Yep, we're going to get this Water Elemental down, and then we can go, like, jump here, neutral, Water Elemental, Lake, neutral, and that's a pretty good start for us. Oh, Phantasm, fantastic. Actually, we could just push this up right now and take a lake here next turn. If we had the other water elemental, we could probably go around the entire map. We could go like lake, jump. Or we could go like water elemental, neutral, neutral. Okay, so this is probably going to get Phantasm by me before it gets out of hand. So a little unfortunate there. I guess we just move into this spot instead. Because now we're tri-collecting and puts us in a pretty good position. I am going to go for the Battletoads here. Just because we're against mono green, there's no area of effect removal. So all my little guys are just going to stick around on the board. Goes for the collection. To a wood elemental. To an Elden Embrace. So just as a way to protect the runing. Okay, so Crystal Flower. Very interesting, actually. Huh. We're a little bit off the Faeria we need to actually play this, and we're a bit off the lands as well. So I feel like we just double neutral, move this into double collection here. Can move this back. Yeah, we're just gonna maneuver around our opponent with the jump mechanic. Green, and we're gonna try and box green into this corner. Because I don't need to transform Runin until it becomes a problem. And right now it is not a problem. It's just sitting there. She's just chilling on this forest. And yeah, she's not causing any issues at all. This wood elemental is a bit problematic. But yeah, that's a bit strange. I was going to say, what's Imperial Engineer doing over here? A bit of a visual error there. So we're going to have the Farian Golem come down. Now these guys are a problem. They're big, they're annoying. Usually don't want to have to deal with them. How are we going to answer this? Double command kind of helps a little bit. So we need to kill one of these at least. And I think we'll just clear the wood elemental using Phantasm on my frog here. That's going to be enough. I just need to decide if I want to keep this alive. And I can do with the Emperor's command, but these might come in handy later with the Aurora's trick. So that's something to consider. I feel like we could just go for a lake. And swallow this for now. Let's push this lake aggressively, because if we get Beirut and drop Beirut here, we're just going to start eating forests up, which is going to be really good for us. So Phantasm coming down. Let's clear this. Finish this off. Go for the Crystal Flower. I'm going to jump on this forest. So my opponent can't play a creature here and in order to collect. And look at this, we're just starving the green player out, using that mobility, using those transform effects to really make life difficult. So Grove Guardian coming down here. That's a pretty good answer. Let's see what Spellwheel's got cooking for us. Nothing that good. More water elementals, not what I'm after, if I'm totally honest. I think we just kill Runin at this point. It's absolutely fine. We'll go for another water elemental. Maybe we command this once. I don't know. Like maybe we double command it. Maybe we just completely shut this card down and starve our opponent at Faeria and just keep building Battletoads. So yeah, actually I'm going to double command this. Not interested in dealing with it. Let's go for the battle toads. Jump this up. And pass. So we're just making it really difficult for our opponent to get Faeria. Runing cannot come down unless we see a feed the forest. So we might see like +1 feed. It's just going to be Elderwood Embrace. I'm kind of drawing really bad right now. I need some better answers. Let's draw Spellwill. Come on, Spellwill. Give us something worthwhile. Sunken Tower is actually pretty decent. Aurora's Disciple can be good if we pick up the events, but yeah, we'll probably just clear this out. Go back and collect. Yep, okay. So we're going to lock our opponent in next turn. We're just going to make sure that this is the only place that things can be summoned. This is just going to be Runin, which is really risky in a way because if I just pick up Frogify, I probably win the game. And we are gonna draw those cards and we're going to try and find it. Aurora's Trick. Okay, let's put Fagoro in a better position. Where do we want Fagoro? Let's jump this. We probably just clear this actually. So let's stick Fagoro here and draw. Because we might pick up Frogify. If we pick up Frogify, like I said, we probably just win. There we go. Yeah, so Frogify again picked up. Oh, I'll play this guy down as well. Yeah, looking pretty bleak for our opponent going forward, and you know the whole strategy here was just starve our opponent out of Faeria. Feed the Forest Willow is a pretty good way to come back, but very difficult for Mono Green to deal with a blue control deck like this, and looking pretty good so far. So we're 2-1. Had a shaky start, but things are starting to look up for us thanks to some of the tricky abilities of Mono Blue. So let's get into another match. Alright guys, another match. Things are going pretty well for this blue control so far. Let's see if we can keep it up. Let's get rid of this hand. Absolutely useless. Not the best hand, but Spellwill could give us some harvesters. We'll have to see what we find from these cards. It's going to be Rush. Oh no. Oh no, this could go really bad. I'm not looking forward to this game already. Neutral Faceman. Oh, it's going to be a Waryak. Alright. Water Elemental. Okay. Something we can work with at least. I'm going to do this to force my opponent to move into a... Okay. Okay. This card's just dead. I'm never going to play this card. Do I Frogify this now? I guess so. Just to protect my Water Elemental. And then if the Water Elemental lives, I can +1 into Tyrannax. I'm just hoping there's not a Campfire. This might be an Air Elemental. Into a... Oh no, it's a Templar. You know what? I'm happy to take the damage for a turn. I've got some healing. That works out for me fine. So yeah, let's just do this. Tyrannax is pretty good here actually. It's just quite sturdy. It lives if it attacks a Shaitan Demon. I can't really fault that, to be honest. Me for 6. Shimmy's across to the left. So just giving free ring on my Tyrannax here. Gonna go for the Monk. hope that's it. Another Templar. Okay. So we have a full clear with the Emperor's Command. It's pretty good. So we'll take a lake here, just to stop the well spot. Move across, kill this, Emperor's Command, and there we have it. So looking pretty decent at the moment. I guess like the thing is, you never know if you're in a good position against yellow, simply because one monk into prayer is just all they need. Oh, I wish I could get the warden down this turn, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. Let's take a draw. Let's see what's going on here. Crystal flowers are just showing up at this point. I'm just wondering, do I crystal flower and keep this alive, or do I just clear it and play an Archon? So Archon looks okay here, I think. Yeah, I think we go for the Archon. Play it on this position. This Archon here has more access. Like, if I was to play Archon here and a haste creature shimmied around to the left-hand side of me, it'd be very difficult for me to get to it from this position. So this is why I played the Archon on this spot specifically. I want to put this Crusader in a kind of odd spot, so I'm thinking of just sticking it here. I do want this Archon to be able to defend if need be, so I think I'm just going to do this. Because if a monk comes down, I can use Aurora's trick on it, and then just steal it, and it'll have haste, so I can collect and kind of just go from there. Another Zealous Crusader. That's pretty funny. I wish I could just Battletoads instead, but I don't think that's going to be an option here. Let's just play a bit more aggressive. Because I still have... I'm in a position here where I can still defend if need be, but I can also attack if my opponent doesn't have a play. Wind Soldier hit face into prayer, make Demon Wrangler, which would be a little sad. Yeah, okay, so we're just gonna hit face. +1 into Battletoads. This comes out soon. I'm a little low on life, to be honest. I've had 2 Wind Soldiers hit my face. Sort of Soul Drain into a monk. Kind of hoping a follower comes down as well. Just means I can trick and clear. I'm probably just dead, actually. I don't really see a way I live through this. Yeah, we're probably just dead. Maybe I shouldn't have been aggressive. I don't know. It didn't look very good for me anyway, so yeah. One haste creature and I die. That 6 damage from the Templars is pretty brutal. But there we have it. Yellow Rush beating the control deck. It's a little bit more difficult than the Red Rush matchup because stealing Grimguards gives you a taunt, which is really good against Rush, right? You're going to be able to taunt up, you know, if we look in the comparison with the Red Rush matchup, you know, it's able to steal those creatures and just win the game off that. Whereas Yellow Rush doesn't really care if you steal their creatures, especially stuff like monks, because they're just going to play another haste creature and hit you in the orb. So, difficult matchup for this deck. We're 2-2 currently. So next game will decide if I go into a positive positive score with this blue control, so let's get right to it. Alright guys, into our final game. We're going up against Tsunkichi again. Let's see if Tsunkichi can answer this blue control with the mono green, or we'll see if Tsunkichi has actually just made a change. It was a rough match last time we played against Tsunkichi. It's going to be green, and it looks like it is going to be mono green again. This is a much better start. You know, getting that wood elemental down, getting those lands down, and yeah, just being able to set up earlier. We're already in Crystal Flower range, and you notice I kept it. I did keep this in the end, and the reason is because we are going to go up against big creatures like these Grove Guardians, so I wanted to make sure that we had the tools in order to deal with them. Interesting. This is really good, actually. Interesting. What on earth is this all about? This is just some crazy stuff right here. So Cistern actually should just tick the full way. We should get full value out of this. This is a little silly, but these two cards are pretty fantastic. This is awesome as well. I'm very happy to find this. It's looking good so far. I can just lake here. Jump up. Go for the Aurora on this side. Just go for the Archon in the back. So once this gets cleared out, we'll still have an Archon to challenge the Wood Elemental. The Elderwood Embrace, it's pretty good here for Tsunkichi, being able to clear out my Elemental and leave this on 2 life. 2 life is not exactly easy for me to deal with. Just goes for a full clear. Might see like a Faeria Golem or something. Be surprised if it comes down in this position. I'd like to see it here, just so I was out of reach of my Archon, because if I have a Frogify, it's going to be a pretty bleak situation for Tsunkichi going forward. It's going to be a Verdant Force. Yeah, I like it. This is a good position for that. So yeah, we can just move to collection here. Move here. I guess we could just go for Fagoro. On this side, go for the Urn. Draw more cards. Feels good, guys. Get some Battletoads down. And we're going to do what we did last time. We're just going to kind of turtle. We're going to engage in some guerrilla warfare. We're going to go in, you know, cause a bit of mischief, then jump back out. And that is the key to this matchup. You're just kind of outmaneuvering Green's very sluggish playstyle. We might see a teleport here, but I'm not that concerned, to be honest. Fagoro can finish off this, unless there's going to be a power-up. Oh, this is dangerous. So I could just get the trick now. So yeah, Fagoro can finish this off. That's absolutely fine. What's our plan going forward? Maybe we decide to clear this. And then we could go for a draw? I think a draw is okay. Actually, no. I think we're gonna do this instead. Move the Battletoad into this position to threaten it with the Mirror Phantasm on the follow-up. Just kill the Verdant Force. I'm not that concerned about it. Move this here as well. Again, we're just posing threats. Yeah, I think we'll just pass. I'm quite happy with this board right now. We have tons of Faeria, tons of cards in hand. We can just wait it out and see what happens. It's gonna collect, just kind of accepting its fate at the hands of a potential Aurora, because I did get an Aurora off the Spell Wheel. That's one thing to consider as well. Faeria Golem coming down. Nice and easy answer for me with the Frogify in hand, and actually picking up a second Frogify to go with it, which is very, very good. We'll go for the lake, jump up, collect, feels good. We'll jump here, because I want to play Phantasm on this position. Clear this out. Frogify. Ripped off the top there as far as my opponent's concerned. Yeah, we can just pass. Try collecting again, and once again we're just bullying our opponent into one corner. It's such a good strategy when playing a mono blue against mono green. Now Sunkichi is going to keep at this game, and it's not looking good for him, but I admire his courage and his persistence, you could say. Wavecrafter, not very good for us right now. Let's just move up. Take another lake here. Getting a lake in the double collection spot's pretty good for us, actually. We'll go for an Archon. We'll just pass. I don't feel like we need to do much else. We're going to double collect with this Phantasm. If anything big comes down into this position, we have a Frogify to answer it. We also have this cheeky Warden. Now, the Warden will actually trigger the Archon. So if we were to Warden, say the Archon, we'd have a 6/6 with protection, which would be very, very powerful. We can also protection this if we want to keep it alive. Double Crystal Flower in hand. Anything of any real threat that shows up, we have just excellent answers to, in combination with the Crystal Flowers and also the Warden. Yeah, things are looking good. Where do I want to put this Warden? I think I just Warden my Archon at this point, because it's just such a pain to deal with. Just go for lethal. Now the Willow can taunt it up, but it's kind of delaying the inevitable more than anything, because I have Crystal Flower in hand. And there we have it! Another clean victory against Mono Green with this blue control. Hope you guys enjoyed it. That wraps up this episode of Become a God using a blue control created by ZaldinFox, but I just made some changes to it. As I do, I like to adjust decks to the ways I want to play them. It's absolutely fine. If you do see a deck you like on the hub or from another player, don't be afraid to just tweak it to your own personal taste. But I hope you guys enjoyed the blue control. As you can see, it has ups and down matchups. It's not exactly a tier 1 deck, but if you are a control player and you do want to try something different, blue control could be the deck for you. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, drop a subscribe to keep up to date of when our content goes live. Be sure to check out other episodes of Become a God. If you'd like to see my climb to almost God rank, I got to rank 1 on stream, you can go over to twitch.tv/aquablad or twitch.tv/ncseca. I think it's changed over now for some reason, which is a bit strange, and you can actually find the VOD there and watch my climb to God rank. I'm just chilling out with a bunch of people in chat. We're just having a bit of fun, relaxing game of Faeria, just listen to some music. So that's something, if you would like to watch, be sure to check that out. I'll put a link in the description below. So until next time, guys, take care and enjoy ZaldinFox's Blue Control.